You're listening to the AIT Decoded podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of our graduate podcast series here at AIT. Today I am delighted to be joined by Pat. Hi Pat, how are you?
Hi Claire, how are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem, thanks a million for coming on and getting involved. We really appreciate it.
Happy to do so.
Brilliant. So Pat, do you want to tell me a little bit about your journey through AIT?
Absolutely, yeah. So my name is Pat McGrath. I'm originally from County Roscommon. I started college in AIT when I was 21. I studied the bar supervision course there in the hospitality school, and really my career wouldn't be existent if I didn't do it. I did the 2-year level 6 course, had great experience, made some really good lifelong friends, and the course was a huge benefit for what was done. I suppose the biggest influence that the course had for me was that in the summertime between first and second years, there's a required 400-hour full summer work placement, which brought me down to Killarney, where Mutual Contact got me a trial working in a hotel, and 8 years later, I'm still living there. I could never leave. It's a great town. I never really left, apart from to go back and just finish my education. But definitely a huge experience and major gratitude if it wasn't for my course in AIT.
Brilliant, Pat. That sounds really nice. And when did you graduate yourself, Pat? I
graduated in 2015.
Perfect. So you're 5 years out of here now.
Geez, it is 5 years.
Yeah,
when you put it that way.
Doesn't seem like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. And Pat, you speak so highly of Killarney, and obviously tourism in Killarney is huge. Is it definitely a big selling point for you to have moved to Killarney and moved from Roscommon, as you said? Has it been a good decision, would you think?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Killarney is the hospitality capital of Ireland, hands down. For a town that's so small, that does such a huge tourism clientele, that has 40 hotels, 10,000 beds available for accommodation, a 55,000-acre national park right on our doorstep. For studying a course like this, definitely 100% it was the right move for me. I started working in the Ross Hotel originally as a bartender on my work placement, and worked 2 summers while still being in college. Once graduating from Athlone IT, I moved down to Killarney permanently, where they made me their bar manager. So I did that for 2 years. About 2 years after that, then our general manager went to maternity leave. She actually ended up taking 12 months off, and I covered her position at the age of 25, which was a massive experience and a huge opportunity that I was very lucky to get. Once our general manager returned, I was given the role of operations manager. So basically number 2 in the property. I was in charge of kind of day-to-day operations around the business, mainly focusing in F&B and then taking on special projects. So did that for another 12 months, which gave me 6 years working in the Ross altogether and a massive experience. From there, myself and my now fiance, who I've met in Killarney, so that's a thanks to AIT again, we decided to take a notion and we moved to Australia for 12 months.
Okay, wow.
So we worked with the Accor Hotel Group, which is a French hotel group. They're the 4th largest hotel group in the world. So worked in 2 different properties in Western Australia. Was based in Perth for the first 6 months working as a food and beverage manager in a Novotel. And from there I went to a place called Margaret River, which is down in the south-western coast of Western Australia. It's one of the most prestigious wine regions in the world. Gorgeous area, about 750 vineyards within maybe a 15-20 kilometre radius. So we moved down and we worked in a 5-star resort there called Pullman Bunker Bay, and I was a food and beverage manager there as well.
Wow. You really have amazing experience in tourism and hospitality already.
Well, absolutely. And then after that, it was 2019 that we spent in Australia. We were offered sponsorship. We could have stayed on, myself and my partner, and we decided that we would come home because we missed Killarney, and we thought that those were great buzz and something that we couldn't say no to for any longer. So we decided to come home and few months before we came back, I was looking to secure a role in the Killarney Plaza Hotel and Spa as the operations manager there.
Wow.
So we actually came home on the 1st of March this
Good
year.
timing.
And I started working in the plaza on the 10th of March, which was the day the school closed.
You won't forget that date.
No, so we were made open for about 8 or 9 days, and then unfortunately we had to close the doors in the hotel. But we operated a really successful takeaway for about 3.5, 4 months, and then we reopened the hotel fully on the 17th of July to a crazy 8 or 10 weeks, a really busy season.
Wow.
I don't know how well you know Killarney, Claire, but like we would have a very famous 8-month season of tourism here. It would go from early March to the end of October, and it would be very, very strong the whole way through. But I suppose because of COVID and the way everything worked out, that famous 8-month season was condensed into about 8 or 9 weeks.
Wow.
Of very busy, very full on. But no, we got a nice busy stint out of it, and I suppose now that we've decided to remain open since we're essential workers, and we have 2 takeaways operating, which is still very busy and very successful, thank God.
Brilliant, Pat. Honestly, what a lovely story and an incredible 5 years after leaving AIT. I think your story is really interesting. Even my ears are perked up to listen to the amazing opportunities, and you've worked your way up through the Ross Hotel in Killarney. Is that the correct name? Yeah, in Killarney for 5 years, then went to Australia, had amazing opportunities down there, even had the opportunity to stay if you wanted to, decided to come home and secured an incredible job again as an operations manager in the Killarney Plaza. That's unreal.
No, I've been very lucky the way things have worked out, and like the what I would say like is the bar supervision course in AIT was a huge influence in all that, and we still talk about things when we're in meetings. I was in a sales meeting last week, and we were talking about floor planning. We were talking about different elements of guest amenities and stuff that we can do for a hotel guest as an extra push. And there was a day how can I say this? The practicality of the bar supervision course was a huge benefit, I found. Like, we were always very hands-on in what we did in the course that we studied. We studied bar operations, we studied food and beverage, we studied full-on food service and stuff like that as well. And that's what I really enjoyed about the course, was that, yes, you can sit down and you can look at the board and you can be told that this is how you do it this way, but the fact that the lecturers in AIT always showed us, this is exactly how you do it, this is the way it needs to be set. This is how we work a service, and then at the end we'd always regroup, we'd have a debrief, we'd ask questions. It was always an open forum for everybody to talk, and they were very understanding as well that if somebody had an idea or a plan, then we would always be open to slightly tweaking the service or how something was to work. And then that's something I've always done in my career with my team, that everybody has a say and everybody has an input, which was a huge benefit.
Definitely. And Pat, do you want to tell me, for example, if anyone is listening who's interested, for example, in following similar footsteps to yourself and open up all these doors and having the opportunity to travel, what's a typical day in the life of someone as an operations manager within a hotel, for example, like the Killarney Plaza?
Well, I suppose I'm more in a hotel role now than let's say in a specific food and beverage role, but Killarney Plaza is a 198 bedroom 4-star deluxe hotel in Killarney Town Centre. We would have done a huge kind of bus tour or business for Americans probably previously, but since I suppose this year it's a different style, we've had a very busy kind of private business, Irish families and couples and stuff like that. My day-to-day can really change, I suppose, similar to the Ross. I would be overall food and beverage operations within the business, be that kitchen, front of house, whatever would be considered there. Day-to-day operations over, let's say, the duty managers and all department heads, be it front office or housekeeping, sales, marketing, leisure centre, spa. They would all be direct line reporting to myself and our general manager. And then on top of that, I suppose we take on special projects kind of consistently within the business to just develop and improve departments. So as an operations manager, I could spend 3 to 6 months working with maybe 2. We have 5 restaurants here in the hotel. I could spend maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months with 2 restaurants specifically, kind of bringing that up to another level, developing the department head, working on it that way. Would move on into possibly the spa, possibly front office, housekeeping, and just kind of bring the hotel along and just try and improve the standard as best we can with the vision of our directors and our general manager.
Wow, that's such a vast array of responsibilities within the role, definitely. So just to finish up, Pat, would you give anyone that might be listening any advice that is interested in pursuing a career similar to yours?
I'd say go for it. It's never too late to start. Like when I finished secondary school and I was 18, 19, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And that's why I suppose I waited. I'd worked in a country bar at home in Elphin and Roscommon for a couple of years, and I seen the bar supervision course, and I thought that I'd be able to do something like this, that like maybe run a bar, be a supervisor or something in a hotel. And I went for it, and I was quite hesitant going that there will be people younger than me, but it's never too late. Just go for it, give it a shot, give it a chance. You've nothing, like, there's never anything to lose, and just give it your best foot forward.
Brilliant, Pat. And I just want to thank you firstly for taking your time out of your day, for sharing your
Not
story.
at all, happy to do so.
Honestly, a lovely story. It's great to see how many opportunities AIT opened up for you coming as a graduate from the Hospitality, Tourism and Leisure Department. And it's just genuinely a really interesting and brilliant story. So thank you so much.
Not at all, happy to help.
Thanks a million.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Remember to check out our brand new CEO Hub, ait.ie/CEO Hub, to find out when we will be hosting our next live Q&A on Instagram or Pubble. If you have any questions about anything that was discussed on today's podcast, please get in touch with us by sending us a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or you can also send an email to askus@ait.ie. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you again very soon.